Alright guys, and welcome back to the Little Lawton Gaming channel. Today we have something very similar but a little different to what we've done before. We have some more Motorsport Manager, but we have the F1 Manager 2022 mod ready and raring to go, and we will be doing this series with Alpine, Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon. Obviously going to be our drivers. The only thing that is wrong with this mod at the moment is Nikita Mazepin is still with Haas. Obviously that would now be Kevin Magnussen, but otherwise all the driver changes are there. So you've got Alex Albon up here at the top with Williams, and Guan Yu Zhou's in here somewhere as well. So there's plenty of change that have happened. Bottas is at Alfa Romeo, for example. We're up and ready to go. It's Dubai up first. So I'll see you there. Right, so here we are in Dubai. First Grand Prix of the season, of Season 1. The first Grand Prix of the series. The first thing we've done is we have started to build a brand new engine for the car, which will probably go into Fernando Alonso's car to start off with, because let's be honest, he's a cracking driver and I think he will get the most out of that engine. In terms of setups going into this weekend, we haven't actually got the best. They're all good. We haven't got any great or beyond that. Hopefully it will be enough, but obviously it might struggle a little bit, shall we say. But let's get ourselves into qualifying and let's get into those first runs. So here comes Fernando Alonso round the corner to start his lap in qualifying. What can he do? We're hoping from a very good season from him at the moment, obviously as the veteran driver, and he is purple in Sector 1. Not that that means a lot, let's be honest. If he can do a good lap time though, that would be great. So he is green, he's gone purple in Sector 2, but I'm guessing it's Hamilton behind, he's maybe going a little bit faster. He's only a tenth off, 4/10 off the pace, and he comes across the line, and he's gone just a little bit quicker than Valtteri Bottas in the Alfa Romeo. Lando Norris goes quicker, Verstappen goes quicker. So let's make sure we get Esteban Ocon out, but we should realistically be getting through. Esteban Ocon now coming round for his lap. What can he do? Can he set a time that'll get him in the top 15 and ensure his place in Q2? In his first sector, he is 2/10 off the pace, which is not the worst sign in the world. If he can keep up that pace, he should be okay. As he's coming through that little S section, he's about just under 5/10 off the pace. We're starting to feel a little bit worried because he's dropping off quite gradually, and he's 8/10 off the pace overall. He is at risk, I would say. I think Esteban Ocon is definitely at risk. Alonso looks to be comfortably through. Ocon we may need to send out again. So Ocon is going to get one last lap in. He's just going to start it in time. What can he do? Can he improve? I really hope he can. As he's coming round, he is slower. He's slower in Sector 1. And it was worrying because we needed him to be faster. Or did we? No, no one else has come out. He is actually through already. So he's going to do a slower lap. But I think, well, he will be through. And Ocon scrapes through by the skin of his teeth. I have to say, very disappointing from him, to be honest. Alonso 8th, Ocon 13th. I was hoping Ocon would at least be top 10. Wasn't to be. But we will head into Q2 with Yuki Tsunoda, Guan Yu Zhou, Nicholas Latifi, Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher leaving us at the end of Q1. So here we go. Ocon's first run of Q2. Can he do better than he did in Q1? It was a disappointing Q1 from him. I was hoping to be a little bit higher up, but maybe I'm just starting to realise exactly where we are as a team with Alpine. Obviously, there's no real indication at the moment as how quick he's going, apart from the fact that I think he's slower than... Is he? No, he's slower than Verstappen. That's where he is at the moment. Can he keep going? Fingers crossed. 5/10 off the pace of Verstappen. He crosses that line. And we'll wait to see what Verstappen does. And we'll see exactly where he is. Ocon. So Ocon is 8/10 off the pace. Let's get Nando out. So Alonso's coming round now to start his lap in Q2. Come on. Find something. Show Ocon up a little bit here. I'm expecting Ocon to drop into 11th, if I'm honest. And he's only a 10th off the pace in Sector 1 as he comes through the S section now. He's 3/10 off the pace in Sector 2. And Alonso looking to book his place in Q3. Can he set a good lap time here as he comes around the final corner? Crosses the line. He's 5/10 off and he goes into 6th place. Fantastic from him. Ocon, we need to get him out. He needs to go again. So here we are with Ocon's final chance to stay in qualifying. Can he get through to Q3? Can he set a decent lap time? He's 2.5 tenths off, but he's up on his previous lap time. Come on, Ocon. You can do this. He comes through the S section. He's 5 tenths off already. He's already about where Alonso was, so he's dropping off quickly here, Ocon. Comes round that final corner. Can he improve? He can improve, but he can't improve enough to get into the top 10. And in fact, he's actually dropped down as Vettel sets a decent lap. And Ocon will be starting 12th. Alonso, he's through to Q3 though. But before we see how Alonso does in Q3, the 5 that were eliminated in Q2 was Pierre Gasly, our very own Esteban Ocon, Alexander Albon for Williams, Lance Stroll, and Valtteri Bottas. We're now into the top 10 shootout. Alonso, where can he qualify? I'll be happy with about 8th or above. 8th or above. So here comes Nando round the final corner for what will be his only run in Q3. Whatever he does here will beat his lap time because I want to keep as many super soft tyres as I can for the Grand Prix. Leave as many strategy options available to us as possible. And I'm hoping he can actually bat out a cracking time here. He's a 10th down after Sector 1. He's 2.5 tenths down after Sector 2. Come on, Alonso. Beast of a lap, mate. Beast of a lap. Keep it coming. Cross the line. Oh, that's a good lap time. It's 2 tenths down and 5th. Absolutely brilliant. Fantastic lap. And fingers crossed this proves to be a good 6th or higher, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Perez probably will improve, you can expect. Ricciardo could probably improve. Same with Leclerc and Sainz, in honesty. I wouldn't be surprised if we qualify in 9th. I really would not be surprised if that was to happen. So what we'll do is we'll speed it up and just see what happens together rather than we just come into the end and say, oh, will he finish there? So we're looking at a couple of cars going around, doing their outlaps now. And the first are starting on their laps. And what can they do? Slow down. So it's purple for Leclerc, which is not good. That's not a good sign at all. Leclerc's gone quicker. Perez has gone quicker. Oh, I said I should have kept my mouth shut. I should have kept my mouth shut. It is a 9th place for Alonso. I should have kept my mouth shut. Oh well, it is what it is. It was a good lap at the time, and unfortunately it's been beaten by a couple of faster cars coming in there, but still very good qualifying from us. So 9th and 12th, I'll take that. Considering we expect to be the 5th best team, you expect us then to be, what, 9th and 10th? And, well, Alonso's 9th, so that's good enough for me, really. Good enough for me. Right, so heading into the Grand Prix, we're going with 2 different strategies for our drivers. Fernando Alonso will be starting on the super softs, obviously, that he qualified through Q2 with, whereas Esteban Ocon will be on the soft tyre in the hope that going longer and being quicker at the end will help us gain a few more places at the back end of the Grand Prix. It's going to be an interesting race. I don't really know what to expect with this Alpine team. I guess we're going to have to find out. And the grid heading into this Dubai Grand Prix. You've got Max Verstappen on pole alongside Lewis Hamilton on 2nd. Charles Leclerc is 3rd. George Russell 4th. Ricciardo starts 5th alongside Carlos Sainz in 6th. On the 4th row we have Lando Norris and Sergio Perez. Fernando Alonso, the highest Alpine driver, comes in at 9 with Sebastian Vettel starting 10th. Pierre Gasly starts 11th alongside Esteban Ocon in 12th. We've got Alexander Albon 13th alongside Lance Stroll in 14th. And the 8th row brings Valtteri Bottas and Yuki Tsunoda. Guan Yu Zhou in his first Grand Prix will be starting 17th alongside Nicholas Latifi in 18th. Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher prop up the grid in 19th and 20th. Right, so now we wait for lights out. Alonso, Ocon, who's going to get the best start? Alonso has flown off the line, but then gets held up a little bit by Checo, but he's gained a few places here. Brilliant start from Alonso. He's up to 7th, and he's around the outside of Sainz. No, he's been held off, and he's dropped back a little bit, but he's gained a couple more places. What a start from Fernando Alonso. He's up to 5th. Ocon is down to 14th, granted, but Fernando Alonso, what a start. Absolutely incredible. Ocon's all the way down in 16th place, and we're going to have to start worrying a little bit because he's just dropping back and dropping back. The drivers on medium tyres are taking him at this point. But Fernando Alonso, let's go back to him. He's up in 5th place. What a start, lad. Absolutely incredible. He's actually just putting the fastest lap of the race. He's currently he's got the fastest lap of the race. Come on, Fernando. Now, Ocon seems to have settled down a little bit. Or has he? No, he ain't. He's just lost his place to Stroll. He will need to take these tyres a little bit further. And I'm going to have to tamper with his race a little bit and put him on push. We've got to go for it a little bit. We cannot afford to be just labouring around. And Fernando Alonso 5th place still, and quite comfortably in 5th place as well. So he's having a very decent race to start off with. It looks like it will be a one-stop strategy, and I'm hoping that it goes quite swimmingly, if I'm honest. Fernando Alonso now really tinkering about, and if he can push this car, then we could do great things today. Get some decent points, and Esteban Ocon, we'll go back to him, is still down in 17th place. Very poor start to the Grand Prix from him. We just got to hope that strategy really comes together with him. He's a good driver. There's a good driver in there. He just didn't get away, and he's trying to get past Lance Stroll, but he's struggling. That's pushing him back. And he's dropped to 18th. Where's Nando? What's he doing? Nando is in 5th, and he's starting to get a little bit caught up by Lando Norris behind him. And he's just tootling around, is Nando, just trying to make sure it doesn't go completely sour for him like it has for Ocon, who has gained his 17th place back. We need a little bit more from him now. We need him to start making some proper overtakes, start making some headway, because it's all well and good going like this, but at the end of the Grand Prix, we need him onto them super soft tyres and give him a good go, and he's gone for it. Oh, he couldn't get past Latifi. He couldn't get past Latifi. And Fernando Alonso still 5th place, and Norris is comfortably enough behind. Hasn't really made much of an attempt to attack Fernando recently, and fingers crossed it stays that way. We're going to speed it up dramatically, and now Norris is really getting up on Alonso's box, and he'll hopefully be looking to get past soon, you'd reckon. But we are fending him off well, fending him off really well. And we'll slow it back down and have a quick look at Ocon, who's in 17th now, and he's just really struggling to get past Nicholas Latifi. He needs to be showing a bit more than what he is. And yeah, it's just not very good at the moment. We're going to up the engine loads of both cars in the hope that that'll give them a little bit more pace, and they can, do what they can. And Ocon is not an overtaker looking at this right now. He's struggling. Alonso still in 5th place, still fending off Lando Norris. George Russell's behind him as well. And he's not dropping off from Daniel Ricciardo too massively. It's still only 2.5 seconds, the gap. But Norris once again closing back up to the back of Fernando Alonso. We've got to keep an eye on the tyres now, because we do know at some point we're going to have to pit. And Norris is literally right behind. I feel like he has used his tyres a bit more than Fernando though, so Fernando's tyres should last a little longer. Ocon is in 16th because Vettel has pitted. So Vettel has pitted, and Norris is just waiting for his opportunity to get past here. And Ocon cannot get past Nicholas Latifi to save his life. And now we've got a little bit of a train coming up behind Alonso, and I'm a little bit worried. He's starting to slow everybody up a little bit. Although he has pulled away a little bit. That's maybe because they're battling behind now. And we'll come back to Ocon, who's driving. He just cannot get close enough to Latifi at all. It's a very disappointing Grand Prix from him at the moment. And Russell's got past Norris. And now he's looking to get past Alonso. Now in a Mercedes, this should be quite easy for him to do. But Alonso is still tooting around very nicely. 5th place. If he can just keep going. Right now I'm very happy with how this Grand Prix is panning out for him. In terms of Ocon, I am getting a little bit worried. We're going to turn his engine down, try and make his tyres last as long as possible. And Russell has made that move on Alonso, and he's up to 5th, and Alonso's down to 6th. It's a good move, and Norris's tyres, surely we'll see Norris pit soon because he's dropping off, I think. He's losing his bearings quite dramatically, or is he catching up again? He might be catching up a little bit, actually. Ocon, we've turned him down on both, and he's just going still. I think he's very disappointed with how quickly his tyres have gone off. His tyres have gone off way too quick for my liking. We'll come back to Alonso now. And we're just hoping. And there, Norris has gone in the pits. Norris has gone into the pits. And with Alonso now, we're going to keep going around and hope that we can develop our way through this. Because we need to pit him at some point. But then again, I don't want to have to pit these two cars at the same point. That is a very good point. Who's going to go onto the mediums is Alonso. That's for sure. We'll put him on the mediums because those tyres have gone a lot quicker than they were meant to. So we're going to put him onto the mediums. And there's a very good chance Ocon could also be going on to medium tyres. And that just, the whole strategy with him is different. So we've changed to act, and Norris has got the undercut. Norris has got the undercut on Fernando Alonso, and he is through. Alonso sits 14th. This is how slow Ocon's been. Alonso has pitted, and he's come out in front. He's come out in front of Esteban Ocon. That's how slow. And he's been really poor at looking after his tyres as well. Granted, we did have him on push, so I do have to take a little bit of the blame for that. But, yeah. Very, very poor from Esteban Ocon. Can we make it to a point where maybe the... No, I don't think we can. I don't think we can make it to a point. So we are going to pit him now and just put him onto the medium tyres. And Ocon's Grand Prix has been terrible. Absolutely terrible. And now it's all about what can we do with... Well, with Fernando. Where can we get him? Can we get him in the points? If we can get him in the points... Will it be comfortably in the points? I'd like to think it would be. I think he's hopefully going to be lapping a lot quicker than some of these cars up here who haven't been, you know, who haven't pitted yet. He sits in 12th as things stand. Coming up to the back of Guan Yu Zhou, he's got to try and make light work of getting past him. Ocon has come out in last place, but he does have drivers like Yuki Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, Latifi. They all will have to pit. Russell has actually pitted. He's come out behind Alonso. So that's the undercut there working for Alonso. But he is on faster tyres. But is he doing a two-stop strategy? Or does he think he can make those tyres last to the end? If he thinks he can make the tyres last to the end, then it's a fantastic decision. And he will, yeah, he'll get him here. We'll see. Well, he'll know Alonso's defended very bravely. And hopefully... he'll really be able to keep pushing a little bit. I've been stuck behind Russell for 6 laps. Well, we haven't, because you were just ahead of him. He's only just overtaken you. I know you're, you know, cracking driver, but shut up with the crap, yeah, because that's rubbish. He is now looking to get up to Guan Yu Zhou. And Alonso, we've got a few other cars that are still going to need to pit. And right now, we've got to really start looking to attack as much as we can. I think we're going to speed it up a little bit, and we are right behind Russell here, and he's battling with it. He's through! He's got past George Russell. So that is fantastic from Fernando. He's got past George. He just needs to get past Guan Yu Zhou, who seems to be slowing everybody up at the moment. And he's not really getting close enough, and he's having to defend from George, which hasn't helped. We'll keep going here, because Zhou will need to pit, Bottas will need to pit, and so will Albon. And when all those pit, I'd like to think we're going to be in a decent position. We're going to move his engine up to high. We're going to bring you down. No, we're going to keep you on high for a little bit longer, actually. Hopefully, see a bit more from you. And I'd like to see Fernando really start to attack Zhou, because Zhou's not someone we want to have in front of us. He's a slow car. He's slowing us up. And the likes of Norris are just getting away a little bit from us now. And he's pushing us into Russell. He's pushing us into Russell. He's pushing us into Sainz. And Russell is in fact through on us. And Carlos Sainz on super soft tyres is now a massive threat. He's a massive threat to Fernando Alonso. And we really need to be doing better. Ocon is in last place. This is terrible from him. Absolutely shocking. And yeah, Carlos Sainz, big threat to us now. Hopefully his tyres wear, and they wear quickly. Fingers crossed. With 11 laps to go, we need his tyres to start wearing. He will take us here, and he'll look then to get after George, and he will take George as well. And his tyres, I think they will last. I think they've got enough in the tank. He's got Latifi behind him, who will need to pit. He's got Bottas behind him, who will need to pit. But all in all, 11 laps left. It's been a very disappointing Grand Prix for Esteban Ocon. We'll speed this up a little bit. And Sainz is actually struggling a little bit to get away on those super softs. So here comes Alonso on the mediums, trying to get back at him, and he can't really close up too much. And we'll speed it up, get us going a little bit. Ocon is destined, I think, for last place. Although, no, he's not. No, he's not, because he's right behind Tsunoda. Fresher tyres and a lap. He hasn't pitted, Tsunoda hasn't, so he's not destined for last place. Carlos Sainz struggling. Alonso down the inside. Brilliant move to get himself up into 9th place. Obviously, Sainz will still be a threat on super soft tyres, but we do have fresher tyres, and the more those tyres go and burn away for Sainz, the better it is for us. Can we afford to go push? I don't really want to. And Ocon is in fact up to 18th now. I think he's taken them on track as well, which is fantastic, because we really don't need him flapping around. And we'll push again here. Keep going, Fernando. Don't let Carlos by. That's the last thing we need. His tyres will go off, and it'll be a point where he's like driving on an ice rink, and we can pull away hopefully a little bit. Guan Yu Zhou has been the major problem in all this, holding everybody up. And he's pitting this lap, Zhou, and we're actually pulling away a little bit from Carlos Sainz. Now, has going longer helped Guan Yu Zhou out or not? Can we get past here? Down the inside, we are past. I feel like in real life he'd have took us out there. But we're up to 8th. Albon is another driver who has to pit, so 7th is around about where we're probably looking at, unless Carlos Sainz can find a little bit more. Ocon is actually up to 14th now, which is absolutely brilliant from him. Although Zhou has got super soft tyres behind him, and you'd fancy him to get back at him. We're going to speed it up, and we'll see exactly what's going to happen with Fernando Alonso. So we're going to push Fernando Alonso onto that. He'll go on to push, and we're actually going to have to put Ocon onto medium. Ignore the engine fault. There's only a couple of laps left. I do not know whether we're gonna have to put it on low. I feel to just get back into the green. We can put it now back on medium, and Fernando Alonso is in 6th. Jesus Christ, how did we get there? I was in a world of my own. Oh, Ricciardo's pit again. That's why. Ricciardo has pit again. And we are in 6th. And we're right up behind Norris. We've got a lap left. Just fucking go for it. Excuse my French, but it's all... This is too tight. We're going for it. He's gone for a move. Round the outside. He's into 5th. Fernando Alonso's into 5th. Oh, this is a battle. This is a battle. Ocon, you do the same. Just go for it. Any place we can get is worth it. And 5th place for Fernando Alonso is fantastic. And Esteban Ocon has finished in 13th, which from where it looked like he was possibly going to go is a great recovery drive from him. Wow. What a Grand Prix in the end, especially from Fernando Alonso, who almost finished 4th. Not far away. And yeah. Wow. What a first Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso, what a driver he is. 5th place in the end. Fantastic. Esteban Ocon in 13th. It's not bad at all. We're just going to make sure we haven't broken any rules. I don't think, no, of course we haven't. We haven't added any parts to the car yet. So we've not broken any rules. It's apparently only paying up for the top 6 places, which is baffling to me. But hey ho, we'll have to fix that in one of the votes or whatever. If you've enjoyed the race, if you've enjoyed seeing Alonso masterclass, then please do drop the video a like, give the channel a subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.